Species that only exist because of humans. Number 1, wheat. Wheat is a staple harvest that supports humankind around the world. All things considered, it just exists through cautious and specific development, which transformed a wild grass into the reason for essentially every heated grade at any point made. Wheat was first developed around 11,600 years prior in the Fertile Crescent. People reaped the yield to create freak structures. These changed grasses yielded bigger grains, which held the seeds through gathering. After some time, the harvest we know as wheat today created, and it has driven humankind from that point onward. There's a hypothesis that people didn't tame wheat to such an extent as the harvest tamed us. It was the development of the harvest that lit the fire, starting the making of horticulture that prompted the improvement of human progress. Were it not for wheat, we would in any case be meandering near, eating berries and whatever else we could discover. Whenever wheat was tamed, mankind quit meandering to discover food. It's a fascinating idea, yet whatever side you take, plainly present-day wheat wouldn't exist were it not for human development of an especially scrumptious grain almost 12,000 years back. Number 2, crab louse. Perhaps the most irritating parasites on Earth is the mite, all the more ordinarily alluded to as body lice. Most creatures with hair need to manage these vermin. With regards to people, there's an extraordinary blending that subjects us to two unique types of these parasites. Head and body lice are a typical issue for different primates, which is the reason you frequently see monkeys and gorillas choosing creepy crawlies from each other's hair and eating them. We appreciate two such species for people and are the lone organic entities on the planet to have this sort of matching. People manage lice like different creatures, yet we're the solitary ones exposed to a different animal groups that assaults our pubic locale. The crab mite, P. pubis, developed independently from the sort Pediculus to blossom with the coarse hair that fills in our pubic locale. The species taints around 2% of the worldwide human populace and are principally communicated through sexual movement. Luckily, they aren't known vectors for sickness, as they compensate for that just by being the place where they are. The species wouldn't exist were it not for people, however it's one mankind wouldn't see any problems with annihilating. Number 3, corn. Corn is a staple harvest utilized worldwide for everything from steers' feed to fake sugars. All things considered, it just turned into that way, on account of people. In its common state, corn looked in no way as it does now, yet because of the native people groups of Mexico around 9,000 years back, types of grass got quite possibly the main food sources on the planet. Fake determination of different harvests helped yield the advanced plant we call corn, maize. Plants were picked dependent on the size of the ears and portions they delivered. As their predecessor, teosinte, doesn't normally deliver anything like current corn. The training of corn started around 9,000 years prior, yet its set of experiences is part into different waves. The previously saw corn training in the Andes. This was trailed by a second wave nearly 2,000 years prior in the marshes of South America. The contrast between present-day corn and its normal progenitors is faltering. The soonest realized corn plants created ears that deliberate just around 1 inch, 25 millimeters, and just one was delivered per plant. Current corn develops ears of around 6.5 to 7.5, 165 to 177 millimeters, with various ears per plant. If you like what you see, please like, share and subscribe to the channel. Number 4, goldfish. Goldfish are an ideal illustration of particular rearing in light of the fact that the fish we currently succeed at festivals wouldn't exist notwithstanding people. Goldfish, as we probably are aware them, have just been around for around 1,000 years. Present-day goldfish are subspecies of carp that were specifically reproduced to accomplish the particular tinge and body style considered the best. At first, the Asian carp was reared as a wellspring of food, however things started to change around the Jin dynasty, 265 to 420 AD. During that period, individuals saw the transformation that grew splendid red, orange, and yellow scale colorings, so they picked to raise those fish with comparable-looking people. Over the long run, a yellowish-orange shading got predominant, and the fish began to populate decorative lakes and water gardens by the Tang dynasty, 618 to 907 AD. The brilliant shading is in opposition to the normal silver hue found in Asian carp, so individuals continued reproducing in the more alluring hues. Individuals continued messing about with the rearing until the cutting-edge goldfish, Siauratus, as far as we might be concerned in its numerous structures, turned into a well-known fancy and pet fish around 1,000 years prior. Number 5. Potatoes. Potatoes are another critical worldwide yield, however they just exist by means of centuries of particular reproducing from a solitary animal types that started some 7,000 to 10,000 years back. The species S. brevicaule was trained by the native individuals of Peru. Due to their work, we currently appreciate a huge number of various kinds of potatoes. Potatoes, S. tuberosum, as we presently know them, started as harsh and for the most part unappetizing. As the species was formed into the one we know today, it got quite possibly the main yields in South America. It's accepted that the potato was to a great extent answerable for a populous blast somewhere in the range of 1,700 and 1,900. One of the reasons the potato is a particularly unmistakable animal categories with such countless varieties is its capacity to develop new plants from existing tubers. You should simply cut a potato into 2 inches, 5.1 centimeters, segments and replant them. It's one explanation the hybridization of potatoes has gotten moderately simple. Boundless development and circulation of potatoes have caused it gotten quite possibly the main staple yields on the planet. Consistently, a great many huge loads of potatoes are eaten everywhere on the world, which is amazing, given how the plant began,